us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the total knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. What I mean by the word Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model communities. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world. all powerful cognition's knowledge. Only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem. I invite all of you to involve and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you. We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
Yes, welcome back, dear viewers. Yes, so now in this segment, let us understand how can you ask your questions to Devi Parashakti in the social media platforms, in the various social media platforms. Yes. So number one is the YouTube channel. So Kailasa's SVH Nithyananda is the official YouTube channel. So you go to the YouTube and you click on to Kailasa's SVH Nithyananda official channel and become a member of the channel. And once you become a member of the channel, you can post your questions. You can ask your questions in the comment section, which is actually mentioned in the slide. And you can ask your questions to Parashakti. So it can be related to your health or your life purpose, your future, your destiny, and why your life is happening the way it is happening. So all these questions, you can actually post it as a comment in the comment section under the live stream. The next is, how can you ask your questions in the Facebook? So if you're not a member and not followed the Kailasa's SPH JGM Nithyananda Paramashivan page, so go to the Facebook and click on to the follow button and start following the page, number one. And once you follow, like and follow the page, then followed by that, you can go to the live stream, which will come here on in the news feed, and you can ask your questions in the comment section in the live stream, under the live stream. So this is one more way where you can connect to Parashakti and ask your questions in the Facebook. The next is becoming a follower of the official Twitter account of Sri Nithyananda. So at Sri Nithyananda. So you can go ahead and follow at Sri Nithyananda on the Twitter. And after that, you can ask your questions in the reply section of the tweet with the hashtag AskTheAvatar. So you can go ahead under the live stream and ask your questions in the reply section of the tweet, Ask the Avatar. The next platform wherein you can connect to Parashakti is you can ask your questions on the Instagram post. So you can go and follow the Sri Nithyananda on the Instagram. So once you follow, here actually it is shown in the slide, once you follow the Sri Nithyananda on Instagram, you can ask your questions in the comment section in the Instagram account. So you can also connect. So these are the various ways that Devi is literally available for all of us with deep compassion. she's providing us this beautiful opportunity to post our questions to her and literally receive her blessings. So you can ask in the YouTube section, you can ask in the Facebook platform, you can ask in the Twitter and the Instagram, and the next platform is in the kailasa.org website. So you can ask your questions on the WhatsApp chat in the kailasa.org website. So if you go to the kailasa.org website, you will be actually guided to this page, and if you'll be guided to the WhatsApp chat, and you can ask your question WhatsApp chat, which is here. So these are the various ways you can ask your questions related to health, your destiny, purpose of life. So how to manifest what you want in life. Say, why are you suffering in life? What is the past, and what is the prayashita, or what is the Devi's revelation for that? So all these questions. So literally you will receive a karmic breakthrough when you ask for blessings and prayers from Devi Parashakti. Yes. So these are the various ways. So if you have not become a member of the YouTube channel, or followed or liked the official Facebook account, or not a member of the Twitter, Instagram, and if you have not visited our kailasa.org website, please go ahead and you can take a few minutes and get ready so that before darshan we can prepare ourselves to ask our questions to Devi Parashakti. Yes. So with that, we'll be moving on to the next segment of how to offer a gratitude to Devi Parashakti. So how to offer a devotion, love at the feet of Devi Parashakti. Yes. So we'll come back after a short break.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Everyone, welcome back. Yes. So we'll now be moving on to the next segment of how can we connect to Parashakti. How can you offer your gratitude, your devotion at the feet of Parashakti? So literally, what is the significance of an offering? So an offering has two parts. One is giving, and number two is you receiving. So an offering is giving of a divine gift of pure love, pure devotion and oneness. So the one thing which we need to very clearly understand is only when the divine accepts what one offers, then that offering itself becomes complete. So it is not made out of any fear nor of greed. So when an incarnation lands, when an avatar lands, the offerings are purely a part of the grand Leela, which is played out only for the purpose of enlightenment. So let us invoke Parashakti and understand furthermore so why we need to offer and what is the significance of offering to Parashakti. So let us start with the Dhyana Sloka from the Moola Agama of Manonmani Dhyanam. Induni Bhaveda Karavakni Nayanam Syat Pankajavarabayajapakshasarayuktam Angahimabhushana Vichitravasanam Syat Tungamakutojvala Manonmani Swarupam. So the Dhyana Sloka, it beautifully explains about Parashakti, that moon-like face, holding the Vedas, the books on hand, fire in eyes, with lotus flower, gracing and blessing hands, and one hand with japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments in wonderful clothes, and shining Bing crown. Her name is Manonmani. The next Dhyana sloka is Dhyaye Devim Trinetram Sashini Bhavadanam Vedahastam Dadhanam Savye Padmam Varadama Pare Chabhayam Chakshamalam Divyairabharanair Vibhushitatanum Brahmadi Vipujitam Devimeva Manonmanim Pratidinam Kamarta Datrim Shubham. So this is the Dhyana sloka from the Mula Agama of Manonmani Dhyanam, which beautifully explains that I meditate on Devi with 3 eyes, glowing like a moon, and hold the Veda, lotus, and gracing with blessing and gracing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments. She is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods, and showers auspicious boons for all the actions every day. So let us now understand what is the significance of the divine element gold. So mostly these offerings are offered as gold. So what is the significance of it? So triply born by birth is this gold from the atoms of Agni is one. It becomes dearest to Agni. One fell away from the Soma when it was heard. One they call the seed of virtuous and powerful Appa. Let that triple gold be for your long life. So gold is a divine element. It purifies anything it touches. It is an element of spiritual significance and great spiritual power of healing and enlightenment. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears and anyone who sees or operates in its vicinity. So this is the beautiful significance of gold because it is present in all the scriptures, the Vedas, the Agamas, the Itihasas, the Puranas. So in all Hindu scriptures, abundantly displayed that gold is the most auspicious and purest metal, which purifies our very being. So in the Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold, it was exchanged in gold, and even the ritual feasts were offered in golden bricks. So when one was to be saved from the life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. Gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amount of commodities, including cows. Kingdoms were built with huge doors of gold. The streets would have huge columns of gold and huge archways made of gold, and horses and cows were dressed in gold. So the Hindu civilization literally thrived on the banks of the rivers of gold, and Indus River was called as the Hiranmaya in Rig Veda, and the river Saraswati was called Hiranyavartani in Atharva Veda. So gold is the supreme element for offering gifts to the ones you love and revere. So temples are constructed and paved in gold. Deities are made in gold and decked and adorned in gold because it preserves the enlightenment energy for thousands of years and it lasts forever. So with that, we'll be moving on to the first offering to Devi. So the first offering which you can offer at the feet of Parashakti, offering of your deep love and devotion, is the E-Hundi offering. So the E-Hundi offering, you can offer any amount at the feet of Parashakti as an E-Hundi offering. So the Shastra Pramana, it says, Bhakti Priya Bhakti Gamya Bhakti Vashya Bhayapaha Shambhavi Sharada Radhya Sharvani Sharmadayini. So Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion and she removes all the fears. So if you see, if there is any fear in the minds of devotees, Devi is literally sure to remove that fear. And it is stated that Devi is worshipped in autumn. And here it is meant that autumn of our lives, when thoughts turn more and more inwards, the role of the divine is known and understood very clearly. So the need for Devi worship becomes stronger and stronger. So you can offer this E-Hundi, the Kanikai, to Devi Parashakti's feet at any amount you wish to, and literally your names will be chanted when the puja is offered to Parashakti. The next offering is the Sankalpa chanting. So the chapter 12 verse 34 of Devi Mahatmyam, it explains, Tayaitan mohyate vishwam saiva vishwam prashuyate saya chitta cha vijanam tushtarudhim prayashyat chadhip. The goddess enchants this universe and she herself gives birth to this universe. That goddess, being prayed without interest in anything, gives that knowledge that leads to salvation and gives wealth in materialistic sense. So offering the conscious resolution, the Sankalpa chanting, it blesses the person, offering with all the fruition of all your desires of whatever you wish to and whatever wishes you are yearning for. So you can offer the Sankalpa chanting at $1 to the feet of Devi Parashakti. The next is the offering of Sahasranama Swarnakasu. So the Lalita Sahasranama verse, it says, Nama Parayana Prita, she who likes the repetition of various names. So this is the offering of 1008 names of Devi Parashakti, and it's a very special and unique archana which is offered to the Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. So you can offer a gold coin which is inscribed with each of the 1008 names and receive the blessings of Parashakti. So when each of these coins are actually offered, you will see literally all the divine qualities, the Ananta Kalyana Gunas of Parashakti is literally awakened inside of you. So you can offer this Sahasranama Swarnakasu to Devi Parashakti at $75, $151 and $251. The next offering is the offering of the Mukta Anguti, the finger ring with a pearl. So the Meenakshi Pancharatnam, it says, Muktahara lasat kirita ruchiram purnendu vaktra prabham shinjannu pura kinkini manidaram padma prabha pasuram sarvabhishta falapradam girisutam vanirama sevitam Meenakshim pranatosmi santatamaham karunya varam nidim. I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls, and the face shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of lotus, who grants all the wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by the goddess Vani and Rama. I remain ever going to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. So you can offer this Mukta Anguti, the finger ring with a pearl to Parashakti, and receive the blessings of Parashakti to be showered by all her love and compassion in all your business endeavors. So the Mukta Anguti is available at $251, $501 and $750. The next offering to Parashakti is the Swarna Padma Pushpan, the golden lotus. The Kamikagama, it explains that all the kalasas should be wound around with a suitable thread and covered with a new cloth. So they should be adorned with the lotus flower made of gold. So this lotus flower, so there are hundreds of scriptural references for using the lotus in worshipping Paramashiva. So almost everything in the worship of ultimate. It involves the consecration of deities or meditating on mudras, asanas, whatever. So it involves the lotus flower, the lotus leaf, the lotus pericarp, lotus petal. So lotus itself is a divine flower. So the Shakti of Paramashiva is also called as lotus. The base of Paramashiva Linga is a lotus. So you can offer this golden lotus in any size you wish to, and you can be blessed to awaken the state, space, powers and being of Parashakti in your inner space amidst any kind of an adverse situation that you're facing in your life. The next offering is the offering of the Swarnametti, the golden toe ring. So the Shastra Pramana, the scriptural reference, it beautifully says, Nakhadi diti sanchanna namajjana tamo guna padadvaya prabhajala parakrita saroruha. You whose brightness from the toe nails destroy the darkness of ignorance from the minds of your devotees who prostrate at your feet. So you can offer this Swarnametti. So literally it is like when you offer this Swarnametti, you're touching the sacred feet of Parashakti, being in the deep space of gratitude and receive her blessings in any difficult aspect of your life. So that is how when you offer the Swarnametti you will feel. So you can offer this Swarnametti at $750. The next is the Swarna Mangtika, the golden hairline jewelry. So Sudha Sarabhi Varshini. So she who makes the nectar flow in all our nerves from the Sahasrara. So she who gives the very pleasant experience of the ultimate. So the Mangtika, the hairline jewelry, represents the nectar flowing from the Sahasrara chakra, which is completely and fully opened. So you can offer this Mangtika, this Varna Mangtika to Devi Parashakti and receive the blessings of achieving the blissful state of overflowing gratitude and state of complete completion. So you can offer this Varna Mangtika at $750. So the next offering is the offering of Pratyaksha Pada Puja. So the beautiful verse from Saundarya Lahari says that the nails have been sharpened by constantly being touched by the crowns of celestial beings who always prostrate before thee. The tamoguna is darkness. In this sloka, tamas is indicative of ignorance in the minds of devotees. And by constantly prostrating before Devi, their ignorance is removed and they attain knowledge. So you can offer this Pratyaksha Pada Puja to Parashakti and also the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the upcoming Guru Purnima, and you can receive his blessings. Literally, whatever you want to manifest as a reality in your life, you can offer this Pratyaksha Pada Puja and experience the breathing space of the avatar. So you can offer this Pratyaksha Pada Puja at $1,008. So along with the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, there is also the Vastra Seva, where you can offer the Vastram, the sacred cloth, to Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and receive his blessings. So at $1,008. So all these offerings are available in the link tiny.cc/Devi-offerings. So we have the compilation and the list of all the sevas which you can offer to Parashakti. The e-hundi offering, you can offer it at any amount. The Sankalpa chanting, so offering the conscious resolution at $1. The Devi Sahasranama Kasu, the pure gold coin, so each one with one sacred name of Devi which is inscribed on it, it's $75, $157, or $51. The Mukta Anguti, the pearl finger ring. The Swarna Padma Pushpam, the golden lotus flower. The Swarna Metti, the golden toe ring for the lotus feet of Parashakti. The Swarna Mangtika, the golden hairline jewelry. Pratyaksha Pada Puja and the Vastra Seva. Yes. So you can offer any one of these sevas or all these sevas also to Parashakti by actually clicking onto the link tiny.cc/Devi-offering. So you can make an online payment and offer this seva to Parashakti. And after the payment, you can submit your details for the puja and for your names to be chanted in the link tiny.cc/Sankalpa2020. So we keep this link projected for you to go ahead and offer the sevas to Parashakti. And I will also be guiding you into a walkthrough of how to go to the link and make an online payment to offer any one of these sevas to Parashakti. So now, actually, when you go to the link tiny.cc/offerings/Devi, so you'll be guided to this page, and this has a list of Parashakti, Bhava Samadhi, Darshan donations, and you can choose an option to offer whichever seva you want to offer to Parashakti. So various sevas are listed here. You can offer, for example, you want to offer the Swarna Padma Pushpam, the golden lotus to Parashakti, which is the $1,800. So you can go ahead and add to the cart. So once you add to the cart, you'll be guided to this page, and you can go down and proceed to checkout. So once you proceed to checkout, you'll be guided to the page which would require all your billing details. So you can actually fill out all the details, your name, your place, your address, and you can place your order after you fill all these details. And once you place your order, your online payment is done, and you will be guided to the further details of the seva. So after you finish doing the payment, the online payment, now you can move on to the next link, the Sankalpa link. So this is the link where your names will be chanted during the puja offered to Parashakti. So you can click on to the next tab over here, and once you move on, you can actually go ahead and fill in the details which are required, and also you can select the Devi Parashakti Bhava Samadhi Darshan over here and go to the next. And once you fill out all the details and submit, your names and your names of your family members will be chanted for the puja to Parashakti. So next is the beautiful offering, where when you go to the live stream in the YouTube, you can offer the e-hundi offering to Parashakti by going and clicking onto the super sticker and the super chat option over here. So when you click onto that, you will be actually guided to some stickers and the super chat option, and it allows you to offer your gratitude to Devi Parashakti in the amount whichever you want to offer to Parashakti. Yes. So these are the various ways where you can make an online payment and offer these sevas to Devi Parashakti. So with that, we come to the end of this segment, and next we'll be moving on to the segment where how Parashakti has literally opened the doors of Kailasa's peak, Adi Kailasa, literally Kailasa across the world as COVID care centers, and providing the multi-layer quarantine in terms of COVID care protection and prevention. So let us quickly move on to the next segment, and we'll come back after a short break.
Listen intensely. Life, consciousness in you does not end while your body drops dead. It moves from different universes, vertical time zones, lives in different time zones as per its free will, knowledge, desire, but ultimately to get enlightened, complete liberation, Paramashiva Padam, your soul has to come back to this karma bhumi, the Bhumandala. This Bhumandala and the Jati ecosystems, the caste ecosystems, Hindu, Jnana, Sannyasa, Yoga, Grihastha, multiple spiritual ecosystems are created for the souls to come back and rebirth and grow more and more towards enlightenment easily, quickly, in accelerated speed and space. understand the secret of Sayujya Mukti. Your Kundalini Shakti experiences the bondage inside your body due to compulsive sexual appetite. All the male bodies building intense yogic body through yoga and pranayama, building the mind of Tyaga centric, will heal your compulsive sexual appetite and make you reach Sayujya. All female bodies, love-centered care, serving every being will liberate you from the compulsive sexual appetite and make your Kundalini reach Sahasrara, which is Kailasa, Parama Shivapada, Sayujya. You health, we get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness, we can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are. Because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. What I mean by the word Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa.
Nithyananda. Welcome to one and all for this segment on Adi Kailasa, the ship. Let us take a look at what Devi Parashakti has revealed about the Adi Kailasa ship Listen well to my words. For India, I made ship as protection. The Nithyananda Navapashana Lingam in Vaidyasarovar. Go to Adi Kailasa. O Indians, listen. All those regretting losing Nithyananda Nijavatara without confusion, without talking just as lip service, go to Adi Kailasa. Crores of people will come there looking for help, Navapashana water feast, and medicine to get help and protection and enlightenment. To protect India from the great destruction, I, Parashakti, made this huge ship. Even if captain is not there, ship is there. Why? Devi said what she said. We are seeing in its stark reality, day over day, week over week, month over month. And Corona in India, literally doing the Ghora Tandava. In Bihar, the recent news says 96 doctors lost their lives to COVID-19 during the second wave. India sees the biggest spike in COVID deaths after the state revises the toll. The world's highest single-day toll reported after Bihar state revises figures to account for deaths at home or in private hospitals. The news just shows literally cremation after cremation, burning pyres, burning continuously, and a queue of people waiting for the cremation of their loved ones. And then we have, along with the corona, further infections, post-COVID, and other variants of the coronavirus, the Delta Plus variant, which the health department says may trigger the third COVID-19 wave in Maharashtra, the highly virulent Delta Plus variant of the novel coronavirus could stoke a third wave in Maharashtra, according to a presentation made at a meeting attended by the Chief Minister of Maharashtra on Wednesday. The live updates show 67,000 plus new cases, 2,000 plus deaths in the last 24 hours. This is the recent news as of today. Health experts say India missed early alarm, let deadly coronavirus variant spread. India reports the first case of green fungus infection. This green fungus infection was found in Madhya Pradesh just about 24 hours back, where a 34-year-old COVID-19 survivor was diagnosed with green fungus infection. Yes, we heard black fungus, white fungus, yellow fungus, and now it's a green fungus. And more research, the doctors say, was needed on whether the nature of the green fungus infection in people who have recovered from COVID-19 is different from other patients. The green fungus case reported in Madhya Pradesh, says doctor, is a new worry. And this is possibly the first such reported case in the country. It's the newest infection to join the earlier reported cases of black, white, yellow fungus, even after the AIIMS chief warned against creating confusion with fungus colors last month. And why did Devi say just go to Adi Kailasa is evident from just this very news where lives are being lost in millions, and yet the people are kept blissfully unaware of it because the media is stifling information, spreading disinformation. Deaths in the range of millions are reported in the range of thousands, when eyewitnesses, even people whom we know, who we talk to, say that just the number of death certificates or just the number of cremations happening in the burial grounds is almost 200 to 500 times more than the reported numbers themselves. Every family practically facing a death. So if you want to protect yourself from this deadly corona pandemic and its variants and its different waves and its post-COVID diseases, join the COVID Care Protection Center. Register now through the link below, which is https://kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. Let's take a few minutes to register ourselves onto this link and do as Parashakti ordained.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda
If you've registered yourself, let us next move to the segment on contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Today we will be looking into detail into one aspect, one of the 5 major pillars of the Kailasa enlightenment ecosystem, which is Annadan, or free food distribution. Why it is done, how it is done, and how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has himself served food to one and all with his very own hands in so many meditation programs and yatras and in public places where people gather for spiritual gatherings. Let us take a look at the same.
The Annadan is the traditional distribution of free vegetarian organic food for people of all caste, creed, religion, race, gender, and social standing. So Swamiji beautifully has told in 2019, a couple of years before, we will revive the food supply system of Kailasa. Before you get hungry, food will be ready. Continuous Annadan. I am not giving any fantasy. It has already become a reality. And that's what you always observe whenever the participants from the COVID Care Center, whoever came and shared in NTV, always mention about the Annadan, the food service provided by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Always, before you get hungry, food be ready, and continuous Annadan. That has been the practice that Kailasa has been following last 26 years in all the occasions and all the programs so far. The development, economic, social, and medical impact of malnutrition and famine have a critical impact on the individual, familial, community, national, ultimately on the global level. With the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic triggering an alarming spike in food insecurity, the United Nations have been giving warnings of famine of biblical proportions. In 2020 alone, 690 people were estimated to be pushed into food insecurity. So, next to people dying because of this ongoing pandemic, the next big problem the world is facing today is the food insecurity issue. And the access and available to organic food has become the utmost importance because now the world is shifting towards holistic living, towards sustainable development, because now people are understanding it is not money, it is not what we thought is going to empower our life anymore. It is the Sanatana Hindu Dharma and the practices that Hinduism has always empowered. That is the best solution. World is coming in terms with it. And this is what Swamiji has always revived for the last 26 years in various formats through various agencies and organizations. Through Kailasa's Department of Agriculture, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has committed to the distribution of free organic food for everyone, not just from the beginning of his public life, but from his very upbringing itself. You can see early days from 2002. The pictures show the early days of Kailasa's spiritual mission, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is offering Annadan, providing a free organic vegetarian meal on Kartigai Deepam in Tiruvannamalai. And even with a fractured hand in 2013, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is engaged in selfless work day and night, day and night. He has inspired the peacekeepers of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa to engage in this selfless service just by example. You can see even with a fractured hand, he is doing the service selflessly. So that is the inspiration for the peacekeepers for the Sovereign Order of Kailasa to engage themselves in this selfless service. You may wonder, what is this fractured hand about? So in 2011, the Pontiff of Hinduism had multiple compound fracture with a bone protruding out of the skin. Then on 2013, the two steel implants that were fastened in 2011 were removed as the bones had completely healed. The picture is after the surgery. Here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully sharing the food to a small little girl who's affected from the Thane flood relief. So how this, it's such a beautiful picture, how the Kailasa has worked day and night to ensure that people, whoever is affected with this Thane food relief, they are supported with this food. So you can see how the volunteers and the peacekeepers of Kailasa, they are serving food to all these children who are affected with this Thane flood relief. Yes, so in multiple locations, just for this Thane flood relief that happened in 2012, in multiple locations, the peacekeepers of Kailasa were serving Annadan. In 2011, Nithyananda Annalaya inauguration in Tiruvannamalai, India, where you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself serving these sadhus. So Swamiji always led by example. The inspiration and guidance for the entire Sovereign Order of Kailasa gathers inspiration from Swamiji. Every single thing he has done it by himself through his hard work. And this is from 2005, 25th of November, Arogya Yoga Health Workshop. This is from 2007, Nithyananda Spurana Meditation Workshop, where you can see thousands of people sitting and Swamiji personally serving all of them. This is from 2012, Nithyananda Spurana Program Meditation Workshop in Tiruvannamalai. There again, you can see Swamiji himself personally serving all the pilgrims and the Hindus who have visited Tiruvannamalai. This is from 2012 Kartigai Deepam celebrations, where you can see all the peacekeepers of Kailasa serving people. So all such beautiful pictures where you can simply relate the hard work of Swamiji, how he ensured that food insecurity problems are resolved, always upkeeping the ideology that Sanatana Hindu Dharma has always held with, that food should be offered to everybody. This is from 2017, 10th of May, Inner Awakening Meditation Workshop in Tiruvannamalai. This is 10th of April 2017, Kalpataru Meditation Workshop in Tiruvannamalai, where you can see literally thousands of people are gathered just to receive the prasad from the peacekeepers of Kailasa. In 2016, Bhandara feast served for the respected spiritual leaders and Hindu monks in Adi Kailasa. This is 2016, 28th of April, the Kalpataru meditation workshop in Bidadi. This is from 2017, 11th of March, where the peacekeepers of Kailasa serving the participants who have come for Kalpataru meditation program from Arunachala Sarvangapeetham in Tiruvannamalai. This is on 18th of August 2019 from Tiruchungod Sarvangapeetham, where people are receiving Annadan. Annadan that's distributed during Guru Purnima, the traditional celebration of Guru in Kailasa in Houston. This is a picture from 8th of December 2016 from the Sadashivoham meditation workshop in Adi Kailasa Bidadi, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself serving the participants who came for the meditation workshop. During COVID, amidst of COVID, the Annadan service still continued. 30th of May 2020, this picture is from the Madurai Adinam. Now, let us see. Yes, please go ahead,
Madhasha. I was just going to say that just seeing this picture just triggered a lot of emotions, because what you're going to see in this is going to be something very, very starkly in contrast with what you just saw in the last few slides, which is just a glimpse of what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been doing from the day one of his life. Always stretching his hand to give, give, give. More so when he entered public life in a big way in 2000. From then on, one of the very first services that he did along with spiritual healing is giving free food or Annadan. Just as per our Veda Agamas, as per the Sanatana Hindu Dharma declared, that produce food aplenty and share with one and all. Annam Bhut Purvita. This is what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is embodying in his very actions and inspiring and leading by example the peacekeepers of Kailasa. Contrast this with what the colonial ruler, Mr. Winston Churchill, had to say about food, about India, about India's culture. We'll watch this video to understand this.
Did several things that greatly aggravated the death toll. India was being used extensively for the war effort. Indian resources, Indian soldiers, and Churchill repeatedly refused to acknowledge the fact that the extent to which India was used could lead to famine.
Viceroy to India, Archibald Wavell, called the Bengal famine one of the greatest disasters to have befallen people under British rule, and said the reputational damage was incalculable. During one government discussion about famine relief, Secretary of State for India Leopold Amery recorded Mr. Churchill saying that any aid sent would be insufficient because Indians bred like rabbits.
What I found in researching the Bengal famine was that
sent would be insufficient because Indians bred like rabbits.
Now that was what one saw about what has been done to India, Hindus, Sanatana Hindu Dharma. One can see here, just to give a glimpse of what India has shared, or rather what the ancient gurus, the leaders, the spiritual leaders of India have shared with the world, and what has been given back to India in return. If we just contrast the two, 1943 to 44, just in the span of 2 years, in the man-made famine of Bengal, as per existing records, 3+ million were murdered. The Prime Minister of the world's biggest empire, controlling 1/3 of mankind, claimed that they could not do anything about the people dying of hunger because Hindus bred like rabbits and the famine was their fault. Contrast this with the next thing which happened in 2016 Ujjain, Kumbh Mela. The peacekeepers of Kailasa served organic food to over 3+ million people. Of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, have served more than 1 billion free meals in the past 26 years and are determined to end hunger and poverty in all its forms. Kailasa, with 200 peacekeepers at any given time, can deliver what even one of the biggest countries could not deliver. Kailasa is not driven by war, fear, or greed. It is an enlightenment-based nation, driven only by selfless service, Tyaga. The Veda Agamas, the source of Hindu scriptures, declares, Annam Bahu Kurvita, which means let us produce food in large quantities. Through the widespread distribution and promotion of free, healthy, organic food, Kailasa's global peacekeepers, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, serve such that we may achieve food security, improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture globally. Annadan is a vision to end poverty and hunger in all its forms. And that was a glimpse into just one of the pillars of the 5 pillars of Kailasa, Annadan, or free food, in exact implementation of what the Veda Agamas ordain human beings to do. Now let us look at, for all this incomparable humanitarian services, spiritual services done by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to humanity, what did he receive in return from humanity, or what was the persecution, what it involved, the persecution that was done.
We're going to see the persecution that is involved in the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, how these anti-Hindu elements and anti-Guru Hindu media mafia and groups have attacked Swamiji. Before we move to the next segment, let's have a short break.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution.
setting model community. Kailasa, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. This is a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet Earth. We all have to coexist together.
And welcome back. To see a glimpse of what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had to go through, till yesterday we saw an overview of the persecution done to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Now we will see just one piece of that whole unimaginable amount of torture done to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in 2010, in just the period from March to April, 2 months. During the hearing on another anticipatory bail petition of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in the false case in which he was framed with the same false accusations, the police lied in the court saying that they had already arrested the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Naturally, the anticipatory bail application became what is called infructuous, meaning redundant, because when the police says that they have arrested, then the court cannot grant what is called an anticipatory bail. But around 2 hours later, with the help of the intelligence department, a different team of police officers entered the house where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was staying in Himachal Pradesh to illegally arrest him. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was taken from Solan in Himachal Pradesh to Bangalore the same night on 21st April 2010. On his way from the airport to the prison, an acid egg, as you can see, which is captured in the picture and the video, was anonymously thrown at the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The newspapers the next day even ridiculed how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was brought in cattle class in the flight, and his seat was at the end of the aircraft next to the toilet. Throughout the journey, the CID police officers used excessive force and degrading treatment, which continued even after the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was imprisoned in the CID office. The police forced him in different ways to give a false confession against himself. 2010 witnessed some multiple assassination attempts on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and different officers actually took turns in torturing and grilling him and continuously lied to convince him to give a false confession. Unable to force a false confession, the police officers ridiculed him and demanded that they receive healing, as they had got tired of grilling him and should also receive professional medical support. This was reported by multiple newspapers to mock the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Hindu community. Even a High Court judge during a hearing remarked at the police Under the guise of suspicion, how long can you police torture a person? Referring to the Supreme Court of Hinduism. The police torture, narrated to media as grilling by the police, involved bombarding him with multiple powerful lights and loud, shrill noises of tile-cutting machines to inflict extreme physical and mental pain. This was done to psychologically weaken him and make him give a false confession about a crime that never happened and he never committed. The grilling continued throughout the day and late night, where officers took turns actually not allowing him to have even his attorney present, which is a right given to any citizen by law. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was subjected to third-degree torture in various ways, like induced asphyxiation, forced breathing of the asbestos dust to cause mesothelioma, violent damage of the internal organs in the pretext of medical tests, injection of lethal poisons in the blood tests, forced starvation, severe dehydration, sleep deprivation, multiple attempts to assassinate in custody in one way or the other. One should hear what international agencies and international leaders have to say about such kind of torture. The Prime Minister of Israel, Mr. Begin, from 1977 to 1983, the then Prime Minister described his experience of sleep deprivation as a prisoner of the Soviet Union as follows. In the head of the interrogated prisoner, a haze begins to form. His spirit is wearied to death. His legs are unsteady, and he has one sole desire, to sleep. Anyone who has experienced this desire knows that not even hunger and thirst are comparable with it. So this is the extent of the torture. On the first day of illegal custody, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was subjected to the first medical torture by arbitrary medical tests, where witness accounts record that an excessive amount of blood was withdrawn in the name of testing. When the doctor was repeatedly asked why so much blood was required, the doctor only replied that it was required, that it was actually not required. But the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was also injected with some unknown substances in the name of medical tests. Several times blood was withdrawn. Only a single report is annexed, though, in the chart sheet. This report was seen by the court, and this fact is even recorded in the Supreme Court order. There is no account of what was done with the excessive blood that was withdrawn. The police told the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism that the excessive withdrawal would stop if he confessed to the false charges. The records of the second test in 26 April 2010, although reported in the media, were never made part of the chart sheet that was submitted to the court. The police, having destroyed these records, lied to courts that they never performed any potency tests on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The police repeated these needless, inhumane tests just in order to torture and assassinate the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism once again in 2014. One can see here the cells in which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was confined for 53 days were in absolutely unhygienic, visibly inhuman conditions. The floor actually in the rest of those 40 plus days that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had to be kept in illegal custody was filled with green algae and mold, with stagnant yellow urine water leaking from the sanitary installations from the adjacent cell and attracting mosquitoes. The walls were completely oily with an unknown pungent substance. His cell had no light, fan, or proper ventilation system to let in the fresh air. Eyewitnesses told the disciples that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was often experiencing breathing issues, but no medical support was provided. When the disciples requested for the change of cell, the prison officials told, "This is a palace for the dog who will die in another few days." That was the real intention, which they had to assassinate him in police custody. All this was done to both attempt to assassinate in custody as well as extort false confession and forced self-incrimination, which by its very nature is just illegal and inhuman.
The disciples begged the police to allow them to clean the prison cell but the officers would neither have prison staff nor the disciples clean it. As a Hindu monk and the leader of 2 billion Hindus worldwide, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as per principles of Hinduism, lives the vow of inner and outer cleanliness, which is publicly evaluated, especially to break the spirit of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Adi Shaivite minority community and the core disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Susanna Serkin, who is the Director of International Police and Partnerships, a physician for human rights, she says, torture is by intention secret. Governments deny it. We have all the laws that make it a crime. And so, at least one thing that we have accomplished is that most governments do not want to admit that they have done it. Sustained injury. So the CID would allow the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to leave the cell only for interrogation. The restroom was far away from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's cell and he wasn't allowed to go when he needed to, which caused deterioration in his health over the 8 days of police custody. There were no charges against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. There were no victims. There was not even a cogent false charge that the police had finalized to force him to falsely accept. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was subjected to inhumane treatment with a sadist, inexplicable motive in
There were
no
no
connection
charges against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. There were
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Sorry for the technical glitch. In terms of sustained injury and effect, the lethal injections to both attempt to assassinate as well as slow poison, extreme weakness, damage to internal organs, and exposure to carcinogenic substances, dizziness, impaired vision, inability to relate with people, inability to stand, chest pain, traumatic, intolerable pain, traumatic tiredness, feeling of death, forced fatigue, psychological trauma, organ damage due to sleep deprivation. The cells in which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was confined for 53 days was absolutely unhygienic, visibly inhumane conditions. The floor was filled with green algae and mold, with stagnant yellow urine water leaking from the sanitary installations from the adjacent cells and attracting the mosquitoes. The walls were completely oily with unknown pungent substance. The cell had no light, no fan, or proper ventilation system to let the fresh air. The eyewitness told the disciples that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was often experiencing breathing issues and no medical support was provided. All this was done to both attempt to assassinate in custody as well as to extort the false confession and forced self-incrimination. The disciples literally begged the police to allow them to clean the prison cell, but the officers would neither have prison staff nor the disciples to clean it. As the Hindu monk and a leader of 2 billion Hindus worldwide, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as per the principles of Hinduism, lives the vow of inner and outer cleanliness, which was purposefully violated, especially to break the spirit of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the community and the core disciples of Swamiji. Now, let us look into how the CID literally tortured during the interrogation. They would allow the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to leave the cell only for interrogation. The restroom was far away from his cell and he wasn't allowed to go when he needed to, which caused deterioration in his health, obviously, over the 8 days of police custody. There were no charges against him, no victims. There was not even a cogent false case that the police had finalized to force him to falsely accept. Swamiji was subjected to inhumane treatment with a sadist, inexplicable motive in no connection to aid the investigation. In a case of both downward internal displacement and external displacement of responsibility and trivialization, the CID for enhanced interrogation created a special cell which was on record ordered to install real harsh lighting and give a freaky Matrix movie-like effect in the work order issued to a company. So here is a work order. It clearly says that the most interrogation rooms are small and consist of nothing but a chair and maybe a table. Make the lighting really harsh and make the room really dark, unless you're going to go for a freaky effect like in the Matrix. This is from a CID administrative officer. The room was created for a single purpose of interrogating Swamiji and was never used again. The cell was fitted with special CCTV cameras, the footage of which was given to media, which aired this video and published it on their websites. The footage had no video, as most CCTV cameras record only video. The channel on their own added their own audio and subtitles. This entire media report was false and supported the unfair trial against Swamiji. Without any remorse, the channels maintained their stand and to date continue to host this video on their websites. Even several court orders stopped media houses from aiding unfair trials against Swamiji. So far, what we have seen is the selfless contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism just in the field of Anadan, just in the wing of Anadan, how much he has contributed tirelessly from day one till now. And in the second segment, we saw how, despite his enormous humanitarian activities, and the supreme contribution in the field of Hinduism, the anti-Hindu forces, how they attacked with the help of state. How did they torture Swamiji in the name of illegal imprisonment? Despite all of this, Swamiji simply contributed. He only made himself available more and more for the humanity in all possible ways, in every way, every single possible way. He only contributed more and more. So even if the captain of the ship is not there, the ship is there. That is the grace and compassion of Devi Parashakti. When she opened the Adi Kailasa, the spiritual enlightenment ecosystem that was brutally vandalized and destroyed by the anti-Hindu forces several times, despite the fact that the anti-Hindu elements continuously destroyed this ecosystem, multiple times they've attacked this ecosystem, the supreme pontiff of Hinduism has only this beautiful grace and compassion that he opened up the same ecosystem to the entire humanity for them to get benefited. So if you are one such person out there thinking about how you're going to save your life, especially on this ongoing pandemic where the medical infrastructure is struggling to meet the ends, you are welcome to Swamiji's COVID Care Protection Centers, Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Centers. You're welcome to Adi Kailasa. You can register in kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. Before we go to the glimpses of what's happening in these COVID centers, let's have a short break.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham Nithyananda Paramashivoham. There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. Subtle, otherworldly, but definitive sign. Manifesting the cosmic beings in Archavatara, deities in Nijavatara, living incarnations is possible. Understand? Priya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explain the whole science of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities and Nijavatara, living incarnations, both. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through this body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, they manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara, and give you all the boons you ask, bless you. You see, each God is an independent intelligence to lead you to enlightenment. Each God is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness. Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only. So that energy itself completely expresses.
Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish this sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
Yes, welcome back. A number of free COVID care centers are opened in the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa in across India. So we have Adi Kailasa in Biridi, Bangalore, followed by Salem Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Thiruvannamalai Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Rajapalem that includes the medical care, infrastructure to accommodate thousands of people, accommodation for multi-layered quarantine facilities, emergency ambulances, which is ICU on wheels, personal protective medical equipment, food security management through food banks, and organic farming. If you're interested to be part of this greatest humanitarian effort on this ongoing pandemic, join us in our COVID care protection centers in kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. Now let us quickly go through the glimpses of what's happening in the Kailasa Serving Epitome. You can see beautifully the Kailasa's Department of Human Services, which is responsible for the overall needs of all the visitors of Adi Kailasa, reconciles their current standing and status of housekeeping, taking note of what needs to be done, upgraded, and procured to make each multi-layered quarantine facility a self-sustained one. So let's take a few minutes for us to register ourselves in kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. It is an amazing opportunity for all the viewers, whoever is watching, for you to feel safe, for you to experience a spiritual breakthrough. You can be part of this greatest movement in Adi Kailasa, spearheaded by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Join us in kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. Let's take a few minutes to log in and register yourselves in kailasa.org/Kailasa Care.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda
Welcome back. Yes. So today we are having a beautiful sharing session with one of our devotees, Kuthapanaya from Salem in Tamil Nadu. So Nithyananda Maya. ஐயா நீங்க உங்க மைக்கு கொஞ்சம் அன்மியூட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. நித்யானந்தமையா நல்லதுங்கய்யா. இந்த ஷோக்கு வந்ததுக்கு ரொம்ப நன்றி ஐயா. உங்களை நீங்க கொஞ்சம் இந்த நித்யானந்தா டிவிக்கு அறிமுகப்படுத்திக்கோங்க.
என் பேரு கூத்தப்படணுமா, சேலம் இளம்பெல்ல இருந்து வந்திருக்கேன்.
நல்லதுங்க. சுவாமிஜியை வந்து எப்ப சந்திச்சீங்க, என்ன தருணத்துல சந்திச்சீங்க, அதை பத்தி ஒரு சில வரிகள் சொல்லுங்க.
2006லயே சந்திச்சிங்கம்மா. ஏஎஸ்பி அட்டன் பண்ணேன். உடல்நிலை கொஞ்சம் சரியில்லாம இருந்தது. மூக்கு அடைப்பு, சுவாச கோளாறு பிரச்சனை இருந்ததுமா. அந்த பிரச்சனை இரவு பாத்தீங்கன்னா தூங்க முடியாது. வாயில தான் சுவாசம் பண்ணிட்டு மூச்சு இழுத்துக்கிட்டு தான் தூங்கணும். ரொம்ப சிரமப்பட்டுட்டேன். டாக்டர் பார்த்தோம், மூக்குல சதை வளர்ந்துருக்கும், ஆப்ரேஷன் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லியிருந்தாங்க. அந்த அளவுக்கு ஆப்ரேஷன் பண்ற அளவுக்கு குடும்ப சூழ்நிலை, பொருளாதார வளர்ச்சி இல்லை. அப்புறம் நம்ம ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் இடத்துல தொழில் செய்ய போன இடத்துல சொன்னாங்க, சுவாமிஜி இந்த மாதிரி ஏஎஸ்பி கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறாரு, போலாம் அப்படின்னாங்க. போனோங்கம்மா. அப்போதுல இருந்து இதுக்கு மேல சாமிஜி விடக்கூடாது. இந்த ஒரு விஷயத்துக்காக அவர் என்ன நமக்கு கொடுக்கல. நம்ம எத்தனையோ போனோம், டாக்டர் சொன்னாங்க. ஆனா ஒரு 2 நாள் ப்ரோக்ராம்லயே எல்லா பிரச்சனையும் சரியாயிருச்சு. நிம்மதியா தூங்குமா. ஆனா தூங்கும் போது அந்தாண்ட பேரிடம் இந்தாண்ட பேரிடம் தூக்கமே வராது. ஆனா சாமிஜி கிளாஸ் அட்டன் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் படுத்து தூங்கின திருப்தி அவ்வளவு திருப்தியா இருந்தது. ஆனா நமக்குள்ள இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த மொழியும் அவ்வளவு உண்மையா, ஒரு தமிழ் மொழியும் அவ்வளவு இதா வந்தது.
ஐயா ஒரே நிமிஷம், நம்ம நேயர்களுக்காக நான்
தமிழ் வார்த்தை எனக்குள்ள அப்படி ஒரு வார்த்தையில் இருந்துச்சா அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறது.
நல்லதுங்க. ஒரு சில நிமிடங்கள் நான் இங்கிலீஷ்ல டிரான்ஸ்லேட் பண்ணிக்கிறேன். Yes, so viewers, actually we are having a beautiful sharing session with Kuthapanaya, who is from Salem. So Kuthapanaya has met Swamiji in 2006, and he was having a breathing problem, so he was not able to breathe properly through his nose. So he had a mouth breathing problem, and he actually went in search of various solutions and treatment, but unfortunately it was not getting cured. So then in Tiruchengodu, when Bhagavan himself, he came to conduct an ASP program, a 2-day meditation retreat in Tiruchengodu ashram. So when Bhagavan was taking the program just in 2 days, so I was sharing that his respiratory and the breathing problem was completely cured, and after that he had very good sleep, and he was literally shocked. And from that moment he immediately decided to have Swamiji in his life and start following Swamiji as his guru. So let us listen more from him. ஐயா தொடர்ந்து சொல்லுங்க.
அதுக்கு அடுத்து தொடர்ந்து சென்னை ஆவடியில மண்டபத்துல ஒரு காலேஜ்ல என்எஸ்பி நடந்ததுமா. அந்த என்எஸ்பி அட்டன் பண்ணோம். ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்தது. அதுக்கப்புறம் தொடர்ந்து பக்திஷ் கொரோனா, சாமியோட வாழும் வரலாறு திருவண்ணாமலையில, ஹீலரு, நம்ம பெடிரி ஆசிரமத்தில் ஹீலர் செக்ஷன் எல்லாமே அட்டன் பண்ணுவோம். ஹீலிங் பண்ணி நம்ம இளம்பிள்ளை ஜென்ரல்லையும் போய் தியானம் ஹீலிங் பண்ணுவோம். நம்ம வீட்லயும் ஒரு தியான பீடம் வச்சு ஒரு 50 பேர் வந்து தியானம் பண்ணுவாங்க. நித்திய தியானம் தொடர்ந்து பண்ணுவாங்க. எல்லாத்தையும் ஹீல் பண்ணுவோம். ஹீல் பண்ணி அவங்க உடல் பிரச்சனை, மன பிரச்சனை சொல்லுவாங்க. ஹீல் வாங்கி போவாங்க. ஒரு இந்த பேய் பிடிச்சது மாதிரி சொல்லுவாங்க. அதெல்லாம் கூட நல்லா ஓட்டியிருக்காங்க. நல்லா நல்லா பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. நமக்கு கல்யாணம் ஆயிடுச்சு. கொஞ்சம் பிரச்சனை, குடும்ப பிரச்சனை மூலமா அந்த கொஞ்சம் நிறைய விடுபட்டு போச்சு, வர முடியல. ஹீலரே விடுற மாதிரி ஆயிடுச்சு. அதுக்கப்புறமா குடும்பத்துல கொஞ்சம் பிரச்சனை வந்ததுமா திரும்ப வந்து சாமிகிட்ட தீட்சை வாங்கி ஒரு மன்னிப்பு கேட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் சாமிகிட்ட தீட்சை வாங்கி இப்ப வீட்டுக்கார அம்மாவும் பரமசிவம் லெவல் 2 அட்டன் பண்ணி இப்ப நானும் ஹீலிங் தீட்சை வாங்கிட்டு அவங்களும் வாங்கிட்டாங்க. இப்ப ஆகாஷ் ரீடிங்லாம் நல்லா பாக்குறாங்க. இப்ப பிரச்சனை இல்லைங்கம்மா. நம்மளோட குழந்தைகளையும் குருகுலத்தில் ஜாயின் பண்ணி ஒரு ஆன்மீக வழியா நம்ம தான் அந்த மாதிரி வரல, குழந்தை தன்மையில இருந்து குழந்தைகளையாவது நம்ம குழந்தைகளை முதல்ல இருந்து சாமிகிட்ட சேர்த்தி அவங்களையும் ஒரு குழுக்கூட்டத்தில் ஜாயின் பண்ணி அவங்களையும் ஆன்மீக வழியா வளர்ச்சி பண்ணிடலாம். நம்மளோட அச்சீவ்மெண்ட் என்னன்னா சாமி சொல்லி கொடுக்கக்கூடிய அந்த சக்தியை நமக்குள்ள இருந்து நம்ம வெளிப்படுத்தணும். சாமிஜி கொடுக்குற அந்த பொக்கிஷத்தை நம்ம வாங்கிக்கணும், முழுசா வாங்கிக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காக இந்த குவாரண்டைன் அதுக்காக ஒரு வாய்ப்பா தான் நினைக்கிறேன். இதுக்கு முன்னால நம்ம அதிகமா வர முடியல. இப்ப அதுக்காக சாமி வாய்ப்பு கொடுத்துருக்காருன்னு தான் நினைக்கிறேன்.
கண்டிப்பாங்க. So he's saying that after the ASP program, when he really experienced the beautiful healing energy from Swamiji, he started following Swamiji, and then he attended the NSP program in Avadi in Chennai, and he continued to attend many of the programs conducted by Bhagavan himself, like the Bhakti Spurana and various other programs. So now, literally, he has decided to put his children in the Nithyananda Gurukul. He says that Swamiji is the only person who is making this power manifestation and powers of Paramashiva as a lifestyle for humanity, and this is the only way the children can be enriched very beautifully and they can be grown in the best way ever. So that is what Ayya is continuing to share. Ayya, இப்போ இந்த COVID-19 இந்த பிரச்சனை இருக்கும்போது இந்த வியாதி வந்து கொடூரமா பரவிட்டு இருக்கிற நிலையில இப்போ நீங்க வந்து ரொம்ப சேஃபா இப்ப ஆதி கைலாசத்துல வந்து பகவானோட ஆசீர்வாதத்துல அந்த எனர்ஜியை ரொம்ப அருமையா என்ஜாய் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்க. அந்த அனுபவத்தை பத்தி சொல்லுங்க. சோ எப்படி நீங்க வந்து எந்த தருணத்துல முடிவெடுத்தீங்க, இப்ப உள்ள எப்படி எல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு அந்த ப்ரொடெக்ஷன் கொடுக்கப்பட்டு இருக்கு, அதை பத்தி சொல்லுங்க.
இது நான் முடிவெடுத்துன்னு சொல்ல முடியாதுங்க, சாமி முடிவெடுத்துன்னு தான் சொல்லணும். வீட்டுல பாத்தீங்கன்னா இங்க போலாம், பெங்களூர் போலாம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னதுக்கு போக முடியாது. எல்லா மக்களும் இங்க இருக்கிறாங்க, நம்ம மட்டும் எப்படி அங்க போக முடியும்? ஒரு வாய்ப்பு இல்ல, கொரோனா லாக்டவுன் போட்டிருக்காங்க, நம்ம எப்படி போக முடியும்னு சொன்னாங்க. கொரோனா டெஸ்ட் எடுக்கும் அப்படின்னு ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் 2-3 ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் போனோம், இங்க எடுக்க முடியாது அங்க எடுக்க முடியாது அலக்கழிச்சாங்க. அந்த நேரம் சுவாமிஜி நீங்க சொல்லிட்டீங்க நாங்க கொரோனா டெஸ்ட் எடுக்கணும் அப்படின்னு நினைச்சிட்டு ஒரு ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் போனோம். எந்த கேள்வியுமே கேட்காம எடுத்துட்டாங்க. ரிசல்ட் வர்றதுக்கு லேட் ஆயிடுச்சு. ரிசல்ட் கிடைச்ச அடுத்த மறுநாளே பாஸ்புக் எப்படி வாங்குறது, ட்ரெயின் எப்படி புக் பண்றது என்னன்னு தெரியல. அப்புறம் அராமதி அம்மான்னு ஒரு அம்மா இருக்காங்க, அந்த அம்மா சொன்னோம். அவங்க ட்ரெயின் புக் பண்றது கொஞ்சம் கைட் பண்ணாங்க. அப்புறம் அவங்க மூலமா ட்ரெயின் புக் பண்ண பாஸ் தேவையில்லைன்னாங்க. டக்குன்னு புறப்பட்டு வந்துட்டோம். ஆனா நிறைய விஷயங்கள் குடும்பத்துல அங்க நடந்த விஷயமே நிறைய நம்மள நெகட்டிவ் தாட் இழுத்துட்டாங்க. இருந்தாலும் அதையும் மீறி பகவான் தான் நம்மளை கொண்டு வந்தாரு. நமக்கு எத்தனையோ கோடி மக்கள் இருக்கிறாங்க, அவங்களுக்கு கிடைக்காத வாய்ப்பு நம்ம கொடுத்துருக்கிறாரு அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு, ஏன்னா அங்க இருந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா சுத்தி நிறைய கொரோனா நிறைய வந்துருச்சு. சொந்தக்காரங்களுக்கு நிறைய கொரோனா வந்து ஒரு ஃபேமிலியே ஃபுல்லா ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் இருந்தாங்க 10 நாளா. ரொம்ப நெருங்கிய சொந்தம், நம்ம போய் பார்க்க கூட. இருந்தாலும் அது அவ்வளவு தூரம் வந்துருச்சு. நம்ம பக்கத்துல நெருங்கிட்டு என்ன பண்றது? சாமிஜியார் சொல்லியிருக்காரு நிறைய ப்ரொடக்ட் ஆகுது, தாக்கிருச்சுன்னா ரொம்ப பிரச்சனை அப்படின்ட்டு. அதனால நாம சேஃப் ஆயிடலாம், எதுவும் வந்தாலும் அப்புறம் பாத்துக்கலாம், கடன்கள் இருக்கு கூட அப்புறம் பாத்துக்கலாம், சாமிஜி சொல்லிட்டாரு போலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அவங்களையும் பேசி கூப்பிட்டு வந்துட்டோம். இங்க வந்து ரொம்ப சேஃபா இருக்கும். அந்த மாதிரி நெகட்டிவ் தாட் இல்ல, கொரோனா வந்துருச்சு வருமா வராதாங்கிற அந்த பயம் இல்ல. சுவாமிஜி நல்லா சேஃபா பண்ணிக்கிறாரு அப்படிங்கிற திருப்தியா ஆனந்தமா இருக்கு.
So Ayya has finally he is in the best protection, COVID care protection inside the Adi Kailasa Sarvagna Peetham on the labs of Parashakti and Paramashiva. So he says literally he was unable to take even the RT-PCR test for COVID-19, so to reach the ashram. So he says that only one decision to come to Adi Kailasa because Swamiji has said. So with that one decision, he started moving things, and with that decision, everything fell in place. And he says Even he tried in 3 places for the RT-PCR test, but he could not make it. So finally, the decision and the deep connection which he had with Swamiji, and that only feeling connection, that when Swamiji has said it, he is going to make it happen for me. He got that PCR test done, and finally, without even applying for the e-pass, so even that got very easy for him, and he could very beautifully come into the Adi Kailasa Sarvagyapeetham and protect himself along with his family. ஐயா, இப்போ நீங்க ஆசிரமத்துக்குள்ள வந்து இப்போ உள்ளுக்குள்ள என்ன மாதிரியா ஒரு சேஃப்டி மெஷர், இப்போ உங்களுக்கு வந்து காலையில இருந்து உங்களுக்கு என்ன பயிற்சிகள் கொடுக்கப்படுகிறது, அதை பத்தி கொஞ்சம் விவரமா சொல்லுங்க.
காலையில 5 மணிக்கு யோகா எழுப்பினாங்க. ரொட்டீனா யோகா பண்ணுவோம். யோகா முடிச்சுட்டு ஃப்ரெஷ் அப் ஆயிட்டு வந்து குரு பூஜை பண்ணிட்டு டைமுக்கு டிஃபன் லஞ்ச் எல்லாம் வந்துடுது. அது கொஞ்சம் சுத்தி இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த ரொட்டீன் ஒர்க், அந்த அரேஞ்ச்மெண்ட் பண்றதுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுவோம். மற்றபடி
வெளியில இருந்ததுக்கும் இப்ப வெளியில இந்த கோவிட்ல இருந்ததுக்கும் இப்ப உள்ள இருக்கிறதுக்கும் உள்ள உங்க மனநிலை, உங்க உணர்வு நிலை எப்படி இருக்குங்க, அதை பத்தி சொல்லுங்க.
முதல்ல வந்து ஆசிரமத்து உள்ள நுழையும் போது 15 நாள் குவாரண்டைன் சொன்னாங்க. அப்ப நமக்கு ஒரு மாதிரி உள்ளுணர்வு ஒரு மாதிரியா தெரிஞ்சு, 15 நாள் எப்படி நம்ம அங்க இருந்தாவே லாக்டவுன் போட்டு எங்கேயாவது தனிமைப்படுத்திடுவாங்கன்னு ஒரு பயம் இருந்தது. இங்கேயும் குவாரண்டைன் வந்து தனிமைப்படுத்துன்னு சொல்றாங்களே, எப்படி இருக்க போறோம் அப்படின்னு இருந்தோம். அந்த 15 நாள் எப்படி போச்சுன்னே தெரியல. அவ்வளவு ஃப்ரீடமா இருந்துச்சு. இது தனிமையா குவாரண்டைன் இருந்தாலும் அவ்வளவு ஃப்ரீடமா இருந்துச்சு. குவாரண்டைன் இருந்த ஒரு அஃபெக்ஷன் இல்ல. எப்பவும் போல சாமிஜியோட எனர்ஜியில இருக்கிற மாதிரியே தான் இருந்தது. நல்ல ஒரு திருப்தியா தான் இருந்தது. அதுல எந்த ஒரு இது இல்லை.
So I was continuing to say that the fear is the only factor that is hitting the people in the outside world. So that one fear, he's completely he's not able to experience that fear, and he's out of the fear. And he says the whole lifestyle, like getting up early in the morning and doing the Nitya yoga and doing the Nitya puja and having the organic food and breathing fresh air with all the protective kashayams, the Ayurvedic and the Siddha medications that has been given, and physically being active and receiving Devi Parashakti's Akashic readings and spiritually enriching ourselves. So all these, he says, literally there is a complete transformation in the whole inner space. So he said that if we go into the Adina, so we'll be in the quarantine. So if we are in quarantine, so what will we do? So he was literally confused, but he says, I didn't even know how the 15-day quarantine period went off. So it was so blissful, and the whole lifestyle inside is completely fear-free and so happy and blissful. So literally we forget about the fear of COVID-19, or fear of death, or whatever is happening in the outside world. ஐயா, இப்போ நீங்க வந்து ரொம்ப ஆனந்தமா இப்போ உள்ள வந்து இந்த கோவிட் ப்ரொடெக்ஷன் கேர்ல சாமியோட ஆசீர்வாதத்துல உள்ள இருக்கீங்க. இப்ப வெளியே இருக்கிற பல பக்தர்கள் சாமி வந்து தொடர்ந்து சொல்லிட்டு இருக்காங்க, இந்த வருடம் முழுக்க உயிரோட இருக்கிறது மட்டும்தான் ஒரே ப்ராஃபிட், அதை தவிர வந்து வேற எந்த ஒரு ப்ராஃபிட்டும் கிடையாது. சோ அவங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் நீங்க வந்து என்ன சொல்ல விரும்புறீங்க, அதை பத்தி சொல்லுங்க.
அவங்களும் முடிந்த வரைக்கும் இங்க சாமியோட ப்ரொடெக்ஷன்ல வந்து சேவ் ஆகிக்கிறது நல்லது அப்படிங்கிறது தான் சொல்றோம். நாமளும் நிறைய பேர் சொல்லி இருக்கிறோம். சொன்னாலும் ஏன்னா நம்மளையே வெளியே எடுக்கிறது அவங்க நிறைய பார்த்தாங்க. இருந்தாலும் முடிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் நம்ம சொன்னோம். இப்ப வந்துட்டோம். இப்ப வந்து போன் பண்ணி கேட்டாங்க, நான் சொல்லியிருந்தா வந்திருப்பேன் அப்படின்னா. இப்போ ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லைங்க, நீங்க வந்து இந்த டெஸ்ட் எல்லாம் எடுக்கணும், டெஸ்ட் எடுத்துக்கிட்டு கூடிய சீக்கிரம் வந்துருங்க. ஆனா அங்க லாக்டவுன் ஓபன் பண்ணிட்டாங்க, நீ அங்க போனது இங்கே இருக்கலாம் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி பேசுறாங்க. இல்லை, இதை விட இன்னும் ஆபத்தான அடுத்த கட்டம் வரும். அப்படி இல்லைன்னா சுவாமிஜி சொல்ல மாட்டாரு, நீங்க வந்து சேஃபா இருங்க, அப்படி இல்லைன்னா இங்க கூட வந்துருங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லி இருக்கிறோம். இன்னும் நிறைய சொல்றோம்.
கண்டிப்பாங்க. அதாவது வெளியில இருக்கவங்களுக்கு இப்ப அவங்க உள்ள வாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்றது ஒண்ணு. சோ இதனுடைய முக்கியத்துவம் என்ன அப்படின்ட்டு நீங்க என்ன சொல்ல விரும்புறீங்க பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கிற நேயர்களுக்கு?
என்ன சொல்ல வரேன்னா, அதான் விரைவில் உடனடியா சாமிஜி சரணடைஞ்சு இங்க ஆதிகலாயத்துக்கு வந்து நம்மளோட தன்னோட உயிரை பார்த்து இந்த வருஷத்துல உயிரை சேவ் பண்ணிக்கிறது தான் முக்கியமான விஷயம். மற்ற எந்த ஒரு விஷயமும் இப்ப அவசியம் இல்லாதது. நம்ம உயிரை சேவ் பண்றதுக்காக சாமிஜியோட ஆதிகலாயத்துக்கு வர்றதுதான் முக்கியம். அத பண்றதுதான் முதல் கடமையா இருக்கணும். அதுதான் சொல்றேன்.
So Kutupanaya is saying that whoever is watching this show, like as Parashakti has revealed and Paramashiva has also revealed, so the only profit for this whole year is keeping yourself alive. So you coming inside and protecting yourself and taking all the preventive measures, because As already revealed by Parashakti, the third wave of COVID is fast approaching in the month of Purtasi between August and September. So the only way to keep us alive and protected is come and enjoy the faith of Parashakti and Paramashiva in the Adi Kailasa. So that is what Aya wants to convey to all the viewers who are watching this. Soluniya? நல்லதுங்க, ரொம்ப நன்றிங்க. Yes. So as we all saw, like the beautiful sharing from Kutapannaya from Salem. So we'll be right back after a short break. So we'll be now moving on to the next segment of this program, the power manifestation. So let us all get ready to manifest the powers of Paramashiva, and we can join to have the Devi Parashakti Bhava Samadhi Darshan and Akashic reading at 2 a.m. IST tomorrow morning. So thank you everyone. We'll be moving on to the next segment of power manifestation. Nithyanandam.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadasham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is power manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagwan himself explaining what is power manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you, due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I've added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing life.
Foolproof.
Science of power manifestation. Science of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explained the power manifestation. What is power manifestation? This is a science because each one of us can manifest and it can be repeated any number of times. When we follow all these instructions, simply we manifest all the reality. The science of power manifestation is authentic, time-tested, scientific and foolproof, and all the evidences that a human can experience the superconscious breakthrough in his lifetime. Here clearly given the Shastra Pramana, the scriptural references, eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures. Apta Pramana, the experience and the results of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nainamas, Alvars, Siddhas, all the Aptas, who are the authority of Hinduism, who manifested all the powers of Paramashiva, which is scientific and foolproof. Atma Pramana, account of His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar's personal experience of each power manifestation, Bhagavan's very own Leelas of manifesting all the powers as per Shastra. Shakshi Pramana, the experience of the millions of disciple, devotees, followers, and initiated by Bhagavan into the science of our manifestation. Like all of us, whoever comes to the Kailash courtyard manifests the powers of Paramashiva. During this deep meditative space, all of us experiencing that space of oneness manifest us all as our auspiciousness, abundance in our life. That is what is science of our manifestation. Pratyaksha Pramana, there is scientific study that what we experience in this whole program, this whole science which is given to us as a science of enlightenment, which is the measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state, the thoughtlessness space continuously happening as reality. That is possible for each one of us and it is manifested as powers. Beautifully, let's go to the Shastra Pramana. Bhagavan has given very powerful Shastra Pramana for us to experience the oneness with Paramashiva.
Of essential reality.
Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 54, Dharana 31. Bhagavan Paramashiva says,
they are being absorbed in the soul and simply Para Devi Adi Shakti is revealed. Or the whole by the experience of restful awareness. It's called Sadashiva reality. They are being absorbed in the constitution. How to clear that, to experience the
While you grow, your parents, it is
power manifestation. Now let's go to the Shastra Pramana.
स्वदेहे जगतो वापि सूक्ष्मतराणि च तत्त्वानि यानि निलयं ध्यात्वान्ते व्यज्यते परा.
Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Vijnana, consciousness. Bhairava, one who experiences consciousness beyond the mind. Tantra is a method where you can experience consciousness beyond the mind. And Paramashiva clearly says how we can experience that. Cognize deeply that from the subtle to the subtlest constitute principle of your whole body. Swadeha, or the whole universe, simultaneously consist of the essential reality. They are being absorbed in the source cause, Paramashiva. By the experience of such restful awareness, one becomes complete from all the thoughts. An ultimate universe, divine power, Para Devi, Parashakti, Adi Shakti, is revealed and the supreme power manifested happens. Beautifully it says, cognize deeply that from the subtle to the subtlest constitute principle of your whole body. All the time when we are caught up in the outer world, we are in the delusion. We keep again and again reiterating. Every minute we are reiterating. How every minute you're breathing, you're also reiterating that I am doing, I am seeing, I am listening. It is only the I. That is what Bhagavan says. Drop the I. The screen is only in the I. If you drop the I, then you can experience the oneness with Paramashiva. Beautiful story of Bhagavan says how Krishna was lying down and Arjuna and Duryodhana before the war goes to ask for Krishna help. So both of them go. First Duryodhana goes and then Krishna goes. Duryodhana chooses to stand next to Krishna's head and Arjuna goes to his feet, lotus feet. And beautifully when Krishna opened his eyes, he saw Arjuna. And he said, first I see Arjuna and he's the younger one. He is going to be asking first. Duryodhana was upset. Why he's not giving me? Because I came first here. But then to show how even if you're given the first choice, what is the choice he takes? 11 crore of his Sena, Krishna's Sena is there. Krishna is there. And what does he want? And Arjuna says, I need nothing other than you. Other than you, nothing is a possibility for me. And Arjuna knows very beautifully how he can win all the war if he allows Krishna to manifest, Krishna to be his charioteer. And Duryodhana thinks, what will Krishna do one person with so many of the soldiers? So let me take the soldiers. 11 crore soldiers, he asked, the whole Sena. And Krishna said, Tatastu. And who won the war? Bhagavan beautifully says how if you merge into him, every happening, that is him who's performing. There is no you. But we take the credit of as though we are executing something here. We are getting some benefit out of it and we are experiencing some achievement out of it. If we drop all three and we understand how we need to function, how Arjuna was in such a beautiful oneness space. Bhagavan beautifully says in each of the space that we are, when we are angry and upset, it's literally like a drunkard driver driving our car, Rajasic. And if we are lazy, boredom, tiredness, it is like a drunkard driver added with a dumb and a deaf. If Krishna is the driver, how would he execute your life? And if you have a drunkard driver, how would you have a car? You will be holding your heart in your hand when you are in the car. And how would it be, or if it is a flight, even worse, and a dumb and a deaf and a drunkard person driving your vehicle? That is what we understand and we merge into. We'll understand the higher science. All your incompletion is all your drunkard drivers. Again and again, you falling into that is going to hurt you more deeply. If you understand, let Krishna manifest everything, whether it is a cup of coffee or whether you're walking with your friend or you have major official discussion that you're having. Everything, let him handle it. Bhagavan Paramashiva is waiting to manifest your reality and waiting to make it the best possibility and auspiciousness and abundance. Instead of we interfering, we merge into the oneness and understanding we are Paramashiva, each one of us is the ultimate. We can experience the ultimate, just like Arjuna. When Arjuna asked Krishna, how can I go kill my own uncle and my cousins? If we are given that choice, what would we do? The same thing he went through. But Krishna beautifully said, where are you doing anything? There is nothing first you're doing. I have taken care of everything. And there is nothing can be lost and nothing can be absolute. Where is that you're killing anybody? Tell me that. It is only the poses of all that projected as a drama, a play, a dream. But there is nothing which is getting killed. In the movie, if somebody gets killed, will you be upset? You'll go out and you'll be talking to them. Arjuna, why are you upset? Why are you getting upset that life, you have lost something? How can you lose? Wake up. This is just an act that you have to do. And then Arjuna understands deeply that there is nothing which is lost because he is absolute. Nobody is dead. And they are in the beautiful space of Karna Moksha, Bhishma Moksha. They are going to get liberated even better. And how can you say they are going through something wrong and you are doing something wrong? What is that? And he says all the morality that he has to follow. He says only when the context you are doing that, it becomes all the confusion. When you align to the highest reality, you are a Kshatriya. You are born to do what you are supposed to do. We, each one of us, have a beautiful happening why we came here. And we have to play the part. When we go out of track, then comes the problem. But as long as we are manifesting what Paramashiva is manifesting through us and aligning to the super conscious space, we are manifesting exactly how Bhagavan is manifesting through us and getting liberated. Unnecessarily, we getting confused with what is happening and blaming and confused with what we are going through is causing more damage to us, and that is what we are projecting as reality, and again getting confused and incomplete with that. And all that puts us into boredom, tiredness, disease, and finally death. The death is again an illusion which is created for us again and again. We create in this cycle of birth and death. If we wake up to the whole thing, we'll understand there is nothing as death, there is nothing as birth. Bhagavan's lotus feet is where we reside continuously as Paramashiva and manifesting all the auspiciousness and living as the highest reality and manifesting all that in our life. Nobody ran away from life to experience this. They were all great enlightened beings living in their proper house or in kingdom, ruling and doing all the things in most beautiful space of oneness. So let's go to the Apta Pramana. Apta Pramanas are the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nainamas, Alvars, Siddhas who have experienced those powerful spaces. Here during Mahabharata war, Lord Indra, this is for the power of body scanning. Here Indra goes and asks, he goes as a Brahmin in disguise, asked for the Kavacha and Kundala to save his son Arjuna. Indra does not understand the higher reality what Krishna is creating, an illusion for everybody to understand, removing all the unconsciousness and raising the humanity into the ultimate space of oneness. All the avatars come down to remove the ego, unconsciousness, and bless us with the ultimate auspiciousness, being patient and doing whatever he says in integrity and obedience, surrendering everything to Bhagavan's lotus feet is the only thing that we need to do again and again. And any thought which comes, again surrender, and simply the reality will be clearly shown what and why, whatever he's showing us as our presence. Beautifully here said, they say Karna knew the whole thing. This is in Bhishma Parva in Mahabharata, the references, and Karna knew and that it is Indra who has come. Knowing that very well, he will lose the war if he doesn't have the Kavacha. He gives the Kavacha and Kundala to Indra. Indra came with a selfish motive, he gave it. Again, Krishna comes to take his punya to liberate him. And he knows Krishna himself is asking for the punya. Simply he gave that also. The space that Indra, the Karna had was so beautiful. That is why it's Karna Moksha. It is not Karnavada. And very few got liberated, and one of them was Karna. Such a beautiful space he is in. Knowing everything and giving is the ultimate gift for experience that space. Now let's listen to Bhagwan, how beautifully he is giving us the ultimate science of how it reflects into our brain and how we can manifest the higher science of reality. Each one of us.
Sorry if I am presenting too complicated things. I'll try to map it down to your language and the way you can grasp. Fundamentally, the researchers are trying to convey the various dimensions. 1D means rod, 2D means plank, 3D means cube, and the 4th D is a spatial dimension called time. The scientists are trying to explain, the researchers are trying to explain through this algebraic topology, which works like a telescope and microscope together. It is not just this 4-dimension alone our brain is perceiving. Our brain is able to perceive higher dimensions, multiple dimensions. Because of that, they come to a conclusion, multiple dimensions exist because the reflection shows the multiple dimension perceptions, not only the possibility but as a reality. They are saying that many of these algebraic topology data they have discovered, they try to map it and see its effect on the rat's brain, and the researchers are confirming many of this data is very realistic. Understand? This is where I wanted to suggest to them. One, please study Vidya Pada of Agamas. You will have lot of input, support and direction. That is one. Second, if you are really interested only in research, if you are not interested in any vested interests, come. You don't need to waste your time on putting your algebraic topology, projections, mathematics on the rat's brain and study. I'll give you live brain. You can study mine. I will reflect this whole 11 dimension, what is out there in here purely. Study all the 86 billion neurons and its activities simultaneously. I am not interested in any of the pride, all these that. I am saying, let's do something good to the world. Not only me, I can recommend and request many of my disciples also to support you in your research. We can live reflect. Understand? Scientists are equipped with a algebraical topology which functions like a telescope and microscope together for microcosm, brain, pindanda. We are equipped with third eye penetrated by oneness, third eye opened by oneness. can be used same way algebraic topology is used in microcosm. We can use the third eye penetrated by the oneness in macrocosm. Understand? Scientists with their algebraic topology, which can function like a telescope and microscope together, study the multi-dimensional happening in the brain. We Shaivites, empowered by Mahasadashiva, whose third eyes are penetrated by the oneness, can show precisely what is out there in here. All of you are able to understand. In the macrocosm brain, algebraic topology helps like a telescope and microscope to study what is going on in this. With that only they are coming to many understandings. I am telling them, please come here. We have cosmic algebraic topology, third eye penetrated by oneness, which can function a cosmic telescope and microscope together. I can project and tell you precisely what is happening in the sun now. The precise temperature change or precise happenings of the sun, and precisely what is happening in your eardrum when you hear these words from my mouth. Understand? Microcosms, telescope and microscope is algebraic topology. Macrocosms, telescope and microscope together is third eye penetrated by oneness. As long as third eye is not penetrated by oneness, it is not opened, it is not initiated. The moment it is initiated, if the third eye is penetrated by the oneness, it acts as telescope and microscope together for cosmos, Brahmanda, what is out there. I can provide two help to these scientists by giving the documentation about what is out there by the person who owns everything out there. It's an owner's document. Who created and who is sustaining his own internal document. That is one. Second, I can provide direction and evidence of whatever is out there by making the pure reflection of that in here. Live human brain. You don't need a rat and rat's brain. We have now enough of powers, empowered human beings who can just through their brain show you precisely what's going on now in Kailasa, what's going on now in Tapoloka, what's going on now in Bur, Buva and Suva, in all the different lokas. Understand, you do not need to use the rat's brain to map the data you collect through algebraic topology and verify them with the reality. we can provide. Not only I am open, and many of my disciples whose third eye is penetrated by the oneness. I have not even entered into what I am supposed to share today. I am only introducing the fundamental understandings. Sanatana Hindu Dharma is rich man's religion. Means who is really rich in everything.
Beautiful. Beautifully, Bhagavan explained how Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the sun reveals itself to us and we study that. The whole concept of the outer world revealing itself to us because we are in oneness. And the third eye penetrated through oneness. Simply we manifest the higher powers. Now you can experience beautifully the balasans in the courtyard. That is why Bhagavan says, Kailash courtyard, whoever comes, I will manifest extraordinary power. Here you can see all these balasans are extraordinarily manifesting all the powers, and the devotee is sharing that experience here.
Really amazing to watch all the wonderful balasans that I was working with. So I'd like to introduce Prema Swarupa Maharaj. Okay. Ajara Maharaj. Jnana Prakasha Maharaj. Okay. And also Mahadeva Maharaj. So we started off yesterday's by playing with body scanning, remote vision, and all of them were able to tell me very accurately what I had in my house, what I had in my bedroom, and even some of them can even tell that I had a pet, and the other Maharaj said that I had a cat, and even described the cat color. So this was very amazing. Then we moved to, I think it was Jnana Prakasha and also Mahadeva Maharaj. I asked them to tell me my blood group, and it was 100% spot on. Even before I finished the question, they already tell me the answer, which is O+. So I will let them share about the powers that they manifest very powerfully after taking Aushada. Prema Swarupa Maharaj, would you like to go first?
My name is Srinitya Prema Swarupananda. Yesterday, actually, Swamiji had given us the Aushada to apply on our head, and we had to take the Aushada and we have to put it on our head. And once we put the Aushada on our head, Swamiji told, start manifesting all the powers, and then one by one we started manifesting all the powers. So the power which I did not manifest before, the Aushada, which was the distance reading. So what she did is she wrote a word and she kept it with herself without showing it to me. And then once she told me, tell me what I have written. And then I was just able to easily see it and tell it was Shiva what she wrote, and I was able to easily see it. And then the next power is I was able to scan her heart rate, how much it was per minute. I was able to scan her heart rate without touching her or without doing anything. And then I was able to even do that correctly, and it was perfect. And I was not able to manifest these powers before the Aushada. And now I'm able to manifest any powers, and I know that I can manifest all the powers of Sadashiva. And it's very easy after the initiation into the Aushada, after Swamiji giving the Aushada to this to all of us. Thank you, Nithyananda.
So Prema Swarupa Maharaj, yesterday I wrote Shiva on a piece of paper, and I actually sat on the paper with the word facing down so that there is no way of them being able to read, from over my shoulder. And he read it 100% spot on. Yes. So next I would like to introduce Ajara Maharaj to share his experience.
My name is Srinitya Ajarananda. So what I wanted to share today about the Aushada process initiation Swamiji gave yesterday, it was something like really powerful for me, because Swamiji, first thing he said, you can play with the powers. Like you have a set of 60 powers, you can play with them randomly. Whatever power you want, or you make up your own power and you can play with it. So first thing when I came and sat with the Aushada, I thought let me try doing the normal powers which I usually manifest, the third eye, body scanning, house scanning and all that. So when I sat and scanned when I did the house scanning, usually how it comes, like when I close my eyes, I look through my third eye for a few seconds and then scenes start to appear and then I can see. So when I did the house scanning, after the Aushada initiation, when I did the house scanning, the second I close my eyes, it's like my vision just switches into the house. So when I close my eyes, I can just see like a 3D view of the entire house, and then it's like a virtual reality. So it was something so powerful and it was so clear for me. And then I started trying to manifest various different other powers. Like before I couldn't manifest length, and Ma had asked me like to tell her birthday. And then I thought, okay, so let me just try doing it as rapid as I can. So I just close my eyes and I look at her through my third eye, and immediately I see July. And then I tell her and she tells it's absolutely correct. So it didn't even take a single second to scan. Like the minute you close your eyes, it just appears. It's something so powerful. So for all of you out there, I wanted to say, like, whether you manifest powers or not, you should come and get the Aushadha initiation. You will know like a whole new level of manifesting powers. Like whether you manifest it or not, like right now you can be manifesting to a certain level. But when you come and get this initiation, then you'll understand how rapidly you can create your own power and you can manifest.
Next, I would like to introduce Mahadeva Maharaj. Yesterday, he was sharing with me, Mahadeva Maharaj, that after the Aushadha, he actually manifested the power of consciousness over matter. He was able to roll the pencil on the floor, and also he told me that GPS was really quick, and for him, the length question was 100% spot on. And he was also one of the Maharaj who accurately tell me my blood group. Yes. And then the other one is Jnana Prakasha Maharaj. So as we were sitting on the stage, waiting for our turn just now, Jnana Prakasha Maharaj could actually remotely scan my mother. He has never met her. I've never put my mother's picture on Facebook or anywhere, but he was able to tell me how she looked like, what are the health problems that she has, and even tell me her age. Yes. So, and one more thing for Jnana Prakasha Maharaj, he also manifested very powerfully the consciousness over matter, this power. He was able to roll the pencil. He moved the pen on the ground very quickly, and his body scan and blood group, he scanned it very accurately, and also he did the GPS for me. I asked him just now to tell me how to get from my house to the bus interchange, and he accurately described the directions to walk out of my house and to walk down the stairs.
Beautifully, how Bhagwan explained that the most auspiciousness for each one of us is the power manifestation space to heal and to manifest all the reality. Bhagwan here, they have done a scientific study that how Bhagwan heals. He says very clearly, when he is in deep samadhi space, when each one of us, when we feel the connected oneness space, the cells which are getting regenerated in our system, constantly cells are getting, new cells are born and the old cells are dying. Like a migration birds, it's happening in our body. And those cells, when are coming new, we are in the confusion state. Like I said, we are in chaos. Then we copy the old pattern and then recreate the same problem. But when we are in oneness with Paramashiva, those very moments, when we are in oneness, we recreate the cells without copying the old patterns. And that is how the healing starts happening. And each time we are in such a meditative space, all of us together in the oneness space, simply we manifest the higher reality. Bhagwan clearly explained the Balasans who manifested the powers, the Aushadha. How can we apply the Aushadha? Bhagwan has beautifully given all these basma, turmeric and kumkum, all that you can get it from the nearest temple and apply it every day so that the whole detox happens here. And turmeric, you can apply it every night to detox the whole part of third eye. Bhagwan says, these 2 points and this point, if you put a needle, how you will feel, that's the circuit. And simply applying it fully and the third eye, the 3 points, will detox you and make you manifest powers. In Gurukul, when kids are waking up, when they go to sleep, when they are before yoga, before eating, after eating, every time we ask them to apply the basma. Again and again putting the Aushadha again and again makes us into the highest reality of Paramashiva. There are multiple things. The basma reminds us that one day we are going to be this ashes unless we wake up to the higher signs. Otherwise, again and again, we are gone back to the birth and death cycle. And Aushadha reminds us the Paramashiva space in us that can manifest as higher signs. Now we are going to do the power of body scanning. Body scanning is one of the most auspicious space where healing happens. Even if people are not manifesting powers, if they just come and to Kailash Kotyar, where Bhagwan's presence is there, simply healing will happen. So many has shared that how they come to Kailash Koti and manifesting power space, and how the healing has happened in so many ways. Every day, all of us sitting and meditating in the deep oneness with Paramashiva, understanding that we are Parashakti, that 25 heads on our neck and 75 eyes we are looking through and 50 hands that we are experiencing is not something just a fantasy. It is how we become the Paramashiva space simply opens up our reality. In the outer world, we know that we become the hero or heroine, try to dress like them, try to behave like them. We become them. But if you again and again hold that you are Paramashiva, you have the eternal nectar. You become the conscious, super conscious being where you can manifest any reality. You can become auspiciousness. You can become Kayakalpa, the ultimate science of manifesting the power of living beyond all this death and birth cycle. All this science gets downloaded, the higher reality and higher experience, living as superconscious being on planet Earth, instead of just suffering as human, raising to the being of us, how we can experience the oneness. Now, if you have a partner to scan the blood group, that's fine. Or you write down all the blood group and call up and find out if it is right. Or you can scan for VIPs on Google where they have given the blood group of them. So beautifully, you can experience the oneness with Paramashiva and manifest all the powers. Now, let's go get into the meditation. Let's sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. Bring Paramashiva to your third eye. The deep completion, unclutch from every thought. Again and again, surrender to Bhagavan's lotus feet whenever you have a thought. That is completely unclutching from anything that you know as you. There is nothing in us that we need to have as our identity. Everything surrendering to Paramashiva's lotus feet, we raise into the higher signs. How when you go to sleep, you just surrender your identity and go into the deep sleep dream state. You don't know whether you're a male or female in the deep sleep. Same way, surrender yourself to the Paramashiva space consciously for a few minutes. Go into that oneness space with Paramashiva, constantly entangling with him, chanting the Mahavakya deeply, your whole being vibrating with that, and being in the oneness with Paramashiva, chanting the Mahavakya, unclutching from anything that you know as your identity. And whatever is downloaded, please write down, and we will, even if you have a person that you have already scanned, already known the blood group, you can further scan and heal that person and give them all the details. Now let's start the cycle 1. Deeply get into the meditation. Few minutes every day will make you so beautiful. So let's start chanting the Mahavakya, holding Paramashiva in your third eye, continuously remembering Parashakti, Devi's compassion, Devi's overflowing love, Devi's overflowing care for each and every one of you, and Devi's continuous reminder of how we can manifest her as our reality. Let's hold that, how a mother is holding us, and manifest the powers of Paramashiva, manifest the power of body scanning. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya.
Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Jnananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Jnananda Paramashivam. 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 नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् Let Paramashiva stir manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour. Let the Varni open up. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
So beautiful. Whatever you have experienced, now please verify authentically. Whatever prasada you have received, please open your eyes, and whatever you have written down, please verify authentically that it is correct what you have manifested and what Paramashiva has shown. It was so nice that my whole space was so shocked when I knew my son scanned my mother, and he said, "Ma, you should go and get admitted. Your arteries are full and you're going to get a heart attack." And she didn't bother about that. She thought a small kid is saying something. And then she went to hospital for finding out that if she can go for vacation. And it so happened the doctor scanned and said exactly the same words. Then she said, "Oh my God, what your son is saying is exactly what the doctor is saying." Obviously, it's Paramashiva saying, it's not somebody saying. So then she got the surgery done and she did not have any problem. This body scan is such a truthful and beautiful space to experience in oneness with Paramashiva. He shows us all that which we need for us to get past all this incompletion and makes us into pure space where we can manifest all the superconscious reality. Bhagavan has beautifully given us this opportunity to hold this oneness space and continuously bless everybody. When you're doing scanning, you're not just doing scanning, you're actually healing the person also. And when you scan even a person you already know, so much of healing is happening because all that you're going into the space of oneness, and through that oneness you're connecting to somebody. Simply they are also in the same space for a few seconds where they experience that oneness with you, where it gets revealed for you. So understand the signs, how it existed in reality, how people downloaded, how they healed, how they operated. It's from conscious space. They didn't have a lab nor a hospital to do all these things, but only a conscious space where they manifested whatever they are manifesting as reality. Now, very beautiful. You can share it in the chat. You can share it in tinyurl.com at the end of the session. Now we'll have one more cycle. We'll scan few more people for their blood group. If you want to scan for their problems, you can go ahead. If you want to scan the same person for different things, yes, please go ahead. And more that gets revealed, ask them to go and verify with the doctor and ask them to completely go and check if you have done any remedy, if you have suggested some remedy, or if you have suggested something that you found in the scan. Please ask them to consult everything with the doctor so that they understand the science much more deeply. And if you're scanning somebody and healing somebody, make sure the whole space of Paramashiva manifesting through them as reality. Bhagavan's blessing is fully for them and let them get healed. So many of them are suffering now with so much of losses that is going on. And your healing and your meditating space increases the healing space for them and they can manifest as their beautiful reality. So let's go into this second cycle of manifesting the power of body scanning. Scan the person for the blood group. And if you want to scan for something else also, whatever Parashakti is revealing, please make a note of that. And any instruction or any scanning, please give it to them at the end of the session. So let's get into the beautiful space of oneness, the meditation deep space. Let's chant the Mahavakya for a few minutes. Put off the cell phone. If you put off the cell phone, your mind is already off. And be with Paramashiva, Parashakti, her beautiful gesture, her compassion, overflowing love, initiation. If you just remember her, you will simply feel her blessing you in complete oneness. She is manifesting as Parashakti in you, the ultimate gift that you can experience. And whatever she reveals, just start making a note. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya. Sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. And remember Parashakti, and let's start chanting the Mahavakya.
All our burdens. Let the Amrita pour. Let the Varni open up. Manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour. Let the Varni open up. Manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ
So beautiful. Whatever Paramashiva has shown, those few minutes, please go ahead and share. Billions are suffering from so many problems, and simply you are blessed to be here today to manifest such a powerful space of healing, scanning, and all that Paramashiva has blessed and initiated and made all of you experience that oneness space. Share that with the world and heal the world. Each one of you take 5 minutes of your time, 3 minutes of your time, just even one line. Your powerful cognition and your power manifestation. You can share the videos, photos, and you can share whatever you have experienced. Even simple things, the cognitive shift that you have had. Please share in your social media or in tinyurl.com/power manifestation. We ask you to share because more and more you contribute to others' life, you'll understand how much it matters for you. Your contribution to others has changed so many of them, and simply that reflects in your change and manifest the higher science. How the higher science works, Bhagavan beautifully says, and simple integrity and simple obedience of a simple things, we will know how best we can manifest the superconscious space. The shortest distance to Bhagavan is the gratitude. And when you share the gratitude and ask Bhagavan to make Paramashiva as your reality, and more you are in oneness with Paramashiva. If you see the $sign at the end of the chat, you can contribute anything, a single dollar of your currency and whatever single unit of your currency and whatever you want to offer to Kailasa. Simply all this just makes your space more and more pure and consciousness. These are simple acts. That's all we are doing. It's like 2 minutes and 3 minutes, but so much is benefited from it. The medicine can be so small, but it heals your body. Like that, all these things are very important. And if we manifest all that, we are going to be a superconscious being soon for experiencing all the powers of Paramashiva. This is not some myth or some story. Bhagavan is slowly making us understand. From 2010, if you've seen, 3 years he took us for us to understand what is download, what is third eye. And the Bala since 2013, they started manifesting. And slowly by 2015 and 16, they started manifesting about 70 powers. And now they are able to manifest 400 powers. And these are not the myth. It is scientifically proven. And again, if you go to Paramashivam program, you'll understand. It is starting new now. All of you can understand how each one of you having a breakthrough. And these breakthrough are not some superficial or some positive thinking, but conscious breakthrough where he's raising the humanity. And slowly he's bringing the humanity to the superconscious space. How the Siddhas lived, how the Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, all of them. Janaka was a king, emperor, and he could manifest all the powers, but he was a king and he was an enlightened king. So all this science is bringing back to planet Earth. All of us again and again coming to Kailash Courtyard, thanking each one of you to experience that oneness and manifest as powers. And let's surrender all this powerful cognition and power manifestation to Bhagavan's lotus feet and thank Bhagavan with the deepest yearning. Ask Bhagavan to manifest Paramashiva as my lifestyle. With that, thanking each one of you, let's end this session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Hari Om Tatsat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Paduka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much, each one of you. After the satsang, after the darshan, we'll have another Kailash Courtyard. Stay tuned and we can experience that oneness and beautiful space of Paramashiva. Thank you, Nithyananda.